It's pretty well done, actually. Basically, you can see that it's got like a false bottom in it.
OK, this isn't rum, is it?
I have 2 grams of cocaine in my underwear.
OK, thank you.
The voice was frightened of
Thank you. That's it. Okay.
Suddenly, Rossy picks up a scent and targets a woman in a white jumper.
Just stand still for me.
UK border sniffer dogs are trained to pinpoint the exact location of any drugs. Rossy indicates on the woman's bag.
Are you together? Are you training by yourself?
The passenger seems nervous, but after the initially strong indication, Rossy loses interest.
Where? OK, thank you, madam. That's fine, thank you. He basically pulled to get to her, or get to her scent, so I dropped the lead, and he was all around her rucksack, and he dropped the floor, so he tried to get it underneath it.
Back down into the channels anyway, just in case your guys have picked anything up down there.
Yeah, I might see what's in her bag anyway.
Meanwhile, Gatwick's newest drug dog, Barney, is examining the baggage from the same flight. Barney gives his strongest indication yet on this black and white spotted suitcase.
I've got a feeling it could be this lady here.
Officers watch as the same woman collects the bag.
And it is. All right, thank you.
With 2 separate indications, the officers think she must be smuggling cocaine. The team must keep the suspect under surveillance to make sure she doesn't slip away. But surprisingly, it's her who approaches the officers to ask for some directions. Fitz intercepts the passenger.
Hi, where are you travelling from today?
Here called Trinidad.
Trinidad. You travel on your own?
Yeah.
OK, just have a quick word if that's all right. Hello.
But now the suspect seems more relaxed, even as Barney gives another unmistakable indication. The sniffer dogs believe the bags contain cocaine, but now it's up to Fitz to find it.
They did this over there, so it doesn't matter what
Sorry.
how you pack it back or whatever.
Right, oh, OK.
Because they pretty much messed it up.
Who was that?
They checked the bags and whatever across there.
They checked them before you came out, did they?
They
Right.
did the same thing.
Oh, OK.
So they pretty much messed it up. So.
Right.
With 3 separate sniffer dog indications on the bags,
OK, I just need to do a quick X-ray of your suitcase, all right?
Yeah.
UK border officer Fitz is convinced he'll find something inside.
All right, doesn't seem to give us that much information about it, so probably have to do a further examination. I'll take it to the tool room and have a look, have a closer look, actually.
Surprisingly, Fitz can find no sign of cocaine. And even the drug swab is clear.
Well, they actually ascertain there's nothing in there. No, which is a bit of a shame, really. As it was a good indication by the dogs, I must admit.
It's disappointing, but with such strong suspicions, Fitz isn't willing to give up the search just yet.
That's the thing that you plug into the television.
Right.
It's a games console dance mat, but something doesn't add up.
Has she got a PlayStation with her?
No.
So why would you have one of these anyway?
Yeah. Right, round 2. I mean, it is heavy as hell.
Fitz then spots the clue he's been after.
The actual casing looks like it's already been removed once before.
This acts like a sniffer dog. It's just looking for minute particles of substances that really sky high. It's got to be there.
Suspicions are now even higher, but where are the drugs?
Is that rubber impregnation?
That's what I think it is.
Mm.
Ever seen it in a dance mat?
Have you
No.
tried doing it on that? You can break the
Yeah, that's what.
Have you broke a bit off?
No, you can do if you want to. The material's gone blue. Oh. I can't say that's a positive then.
Amazingly, the rubber inside the dance mat is full of cocaine.
The time is 10:10. I'm arresting you on suspicion of being involved in the importation of a controlled drug.
It just goes to show, with smugglers using ever more devious methods, the officers can take nothing for granted.
Anything you do say may be given in evidence, do you understand? Okay.
The officers' persistence has paid off, and yet another smuggler has been caught red-handed.
North.
The drugs were ingeniously hidden, and one member of the team deserves a special reward.
Knock yourself out, you little star.
We've got a bit of BA mail to do. She's going to sniff some boxes and some sacks and see if she likes any of it or not. If so, we'll ask Royal Mail to open the box. So let's go and give it a go.
Sniffer dogs are a vital tool in tracing drugs smuggled via post. But with millions of parcels coming through Gatwick every year, it's a time-consuming process.
Sit, sit. Good girl. Where? Where?
Almost immediately, Lucy picks out a box and gives a trademark indication.
Would you mind having a look at this box for me? She's showing a lot of interest and she sat down, which is a good indication.
Okay, I'll get Royal Mail to open it.
Okay, thank you. The officer has gone to Royal Mail to get them to open it because we're not allowed to open it ourselves. So I'm just waiting for them to come back now to see if there's anything in the box, and they can then examine whatever the contents of the box will be.
Royal Mail have opened the box, and officers can now inspect the contents.
Just having a look at the contents of the book. Seems to be all wooden items. Plaques are quite common. I'll x-ray them, see if it shows anything.
The X-ray should show any hidden concealments.
Yes, you can see on this, the bigger one here was the first plaque that went in. There's a line round the edge, just here and here. Nothing in this one or this one.
With the X-ray showing a hidden concealment, there's only one way to find out what it is.
Yeah, you can see there's white powder here on the drill bit. We'll do the test now. Hopefully it should go blue and demonstrate the presence of cocaine. Yeah, it's just starting to go blue as it dries here, which confirms there's cocaine in the package.
It's an excellent find by Lucy.
I'm going to bring Lucy back in to reward her on her find. So they'll put it back into the box, put it back amongst the other boxes, and hope she'll find it again and she'll get her ball this time. We can't really give her her ball the first time because we don't know if there's anything there or not.
With the cocaine confirmed, Lucy gets her well-earned reward.
She takes a while to actually indicate. She sniffs it thoroughly first. So. There we go. Good girl. Clever girl. Yay! Good result. Yeah.
So I took Barney to where a Caribbean flight was landing, and he gave a really nice indication on a passenger's bag.
This bag is yours and this bag is yours? Yes. Right, there's things that you cannot bring in this country, okay? Things that you cannot bring in. You have no guns? Guns, like shoot, bang, bang. No guns, no drugs. No cocaine or anything like that. No? Sure? Okay. Has anybody given you anything to bring back? You're carrying parcels and gifts for people.
It's the given, it's the...
That's not what I'm asking. Right? Just put that on there for me.
The passenger is acting nervous, and Warren decides to do some background checks.
I mean, he's quite a presentable bloke that you probably wouldn't look at too much, but when Darren's come up and said that the dog's indicated on the bag, obviously you focus on that bloke. When we focus on him in the queue, he's quite nervous, and he's showing signs that he doesn't really want to be there. He wants to be straight through and out. And obviously when he's been intercepted as well, he's showed out there as well. He's fiddling with the bag. He doesn't want to make eye contact with you. And then from initially speaking really good English, he doesn't seem to understand what I'm saying to him. So So yeah, it's all there.
The man's bag is put through an X-ray to check for irregularities, and straight away it confirms Barney's suspicions.
Right, you need to listen to me very carefully, okay? I know your English is not good. Okay, I'm arresting you on suspicion of being involved in the illegal importation of a controlled drug. Okay, you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand what I've said to you?
No, I understand.
Well, basically, in a nutshell, okay, I think you have drugs in your baggage, and that's why you've been arrested.
What?
I think you have drugs in your bag, in here, okay? So you've been arrested for that, yes. We'll explain it a bit more later on, okay?
Warren has uncovered a false bottom in the suitcase, but with the man now claiming not to understand English, it's going to take a while to get to the bottom of the story.
It's pretty well done, actually. Basically, you can see that it's got like a false bottom in it. What we want to do is just to spike it and test whatever's underneath. Let's see what we've got. There you can see, you've got like a white powder or paste on the end there. It's like a field test for cocaine.
Warren has found a
Get a bit
white
of powder
powder
on there
hidden
once we
deep
put the
in the
liquid on.
structure of the suitcase.
Yeah, you can see it starting to go blue already. So we've got cocaine in there.
And it's a big haul for the team.
How much do you think's there, Warren?
3 kilos.
3?
2, 3.
That's good.
The man has to be held while a Bulgarian translator is found. The officers are now able to communicate the seriousness of the crime.
Right, for that reason, okay, he was arrested on suspicion.
И поради тази причина сте арестуван по подозрение,
Of being involved in the illegal importation
че сте бил замесен в нелегален внос
of a controlled drug.
на контролирано наркотик. Неконтролиран наркотик.
Наркотик?
Наркотик.
Какъв наркотик стана?
What drug do you mean?
It doesn't really matter at the moment, okay?
В момента няма значение за какъв наркотик става въпрос.
Не, смисъл такъв, откъде изляза?
Right,
Къде точно наркотик?
hang on 1 minute. Basically, all we're getting doing here, okay?
Where did it come from?
Well, I don't know. He'll have to explain that, and he'll get the chance to
Това
explain that
трябва,
later.
ще ви се даде възможност да обясните това по-късно.
Okay, all we're concerned with at the moment is him realising or understanding why he's been arrested, okay?
В момента просто единственото, което трябва да разберете, защо сте бил арестуван.
For rookie drug dog Barney, it's his first seizure, and he's in line for a big reward from handler Darren. One smuggler that stands out from all the rest is Paul Brady.
Well, when I stopped Mr. Brady in the Green Channel, I examined his baggage and found really nothing of customs interest at all. But there was something about him that I wasn't satisfied with. And generally, if somebody hasn't got anything in their baggage of customs interest, then they may have smuggled it elsewhere. So Mr. Brady was then taken to a private room and he was searched.
The body search found nothing, so suspicions now centred on what Brady might have hidden inside his body.
A sample of urine was taken from him and tested on our machine at Gatwick, and the result indicated the presence of cocaine inside of his body. And I then arrested him on suspicion of importing a controlled drug into the UK, concealed internally.
Officers wanted to X-ray Brady to prove he'd swallowed packages of cocaine, but he refused. Instead, he was detained in a Gatwick custody cell while officers waited for the evidence to emerge. Brady had begun a waiting game that would go down in customs history.
He was refusing to eat any food. He refused to drink any drinks that we provided to him unless it was a can of Coke which he could open himself, and that's all he would do. And of course this went on and on.
Without food, it soon became a week without him going to the toilet. But officers had Brady under 24-hour surveillance to ensure none of the vital evidence was missed.
We had to have grounds to keep him in our custody when we had to go in front of the magistrate every 7 days. One of the things we did was to iron scan his suit, and this indicated whether he still may have the cocaine level was actually going up, which it was.
After 3 weeks, and with drugs seeping into his system, they began to fear for Brady's life, but he refused to give in.
It would only take a very small amount to actually kill the person outright, so it's a dangerous thing to do anyway.
After a staggering 48 days of defiance, it was the smell of the custody officer's lunch which finally forced Brady to crack.
After 48 days, I was actually off shift and I was at home, and I had a call from my main manager at Gatwick, who telephoned me to say, yes, he's produced. So it was quite an emotional time, and I still feel quite emotional talking about it now, so it was sort of relief.
Consuming his first meal for 7 weeks, the officers wouldn't have to wait long to get their hands on the evidence.
And it just gave in completely, so he must have been absolutely starving, but obviously the body couldn't take it. And I had to sit with him along with my colleagues to recover the remaining packages from his body.
The stubbornness of Brady was beaten only by the determination of the officers at Gatwick.
I mean, give him his due, he gave it a good try, didn't he? And he pleaded the only thing he could do best, which was to plead guilty at Croydon Crown Court, where the judge gave him the sentence of 5 years. And that's something I'm proud of, you know, so it was good.
A flight has just arrived from Antigua. One female passenger from the flight has raised suspicion. After passing through immigration, she was seen changing her clothes in the toilets. So UK Border Agency officer George has stopped her for questioning.
She actually changed outfits from when I saw her down by immigration when she was getting her passport swiped. When talking to her in the channels, she actually said that it's because she had a long journey and she had some soggy clothes which she needed to change out of. It's a suspicious activity. Normally people would just wait.
George carries out a routine search of the woman's bags.
When she went upstairs, I noticed that she had a carry-on holdall, which sometimes they can actually sneak drugs through their holdalls.
The holdall and its contents are taken away to be x-rayed. Officers will be looking for any hidden concealment. George continues his search of the woman's suitcase.
Yeah, that's okay.
The holdall gets the all clear, but the woman's laptop looks decidedly suspicious.
On the X-ray, it's sort of uneven. As it goes in, it shows that there may be something inside. Yeah.
With concerns there may be drugs hidden in the laptop, it's taken away to a workshop to be properly assessed.
Okay, what's happened? Yeah, we've got a clearer image, and it shows.
It may seem brutal, but the only way to find out if it does contain anything illegal is to break it open. It looks like their hunch was right. Officers discover a package they suspect to be drugs, stuffed inside the laptop. A simple test will be able to confirm their suspicion.
We've pulled a package out from behind the screen. All he's doing now is splitting it to take a small sample, which we can test on this cocaine reagent here, so which will give us an indication as to what type of drug it is.
The reagent will turn blue if the substance is cocaine.
It is there.
With a positive identification for cocaine, the news is now broken to the woman.
Carried out an examination of your laptop, and we have found a white substance hidden behind the screen. We've carried out a field test for cocaine, which has come up positive. So the time is 10:19. We're arresting you on suspicion of being involved in the importation of controlled drugs. You do not have to say anything. I'm not. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention one question, something which you later rely on in court. Do you understand?
With the game now well and truly up, the woman's attitude begins to change.
This is for Hillary.
She may be laughing now, but all that awaits her is an empty cell. Officers stay with the woman while her belongings are checked in, and she's informed of her rights. Meanwhile, George inspects the cocaine concealment further.
There's a lot of work which has gone into this. This would be actually considered a deep concealment. For a rudimentary way of trying to, I suppose, disguise it from an X-ray was by covering it in foil, but obviously it hasn't worked.
Right, just want to take your shoes off and put them here.
As the woman is checked into her cell, she starts to vent her frustration.
And if you do need us, in here. Just listen to me. Let us know if you need anything else.
Would you like to see the part of the block with the film, right? You want to see that part?
That's it. She's getting a bit upset now. When she was stopped, even when her computer was being x-rayed and everything, she was quite calm. But everyone's different. Everyone reacts in different ways, so there is no way you can spot a drug smuggler, is it? They come in all shapes and sizes.
One thing left to find out is the weight of the drugs.
So it's coming in at around about 530 grams. So depending on its purity, it could actually be quite substantial.
With an estimated value of £25,000, it's been a very successful day for the officers. Less so for the woman, who will have plenty of time to contemplate her actions. It's an awkward load, exactly the sort of cover used by smugglers to conceal drugs and tobacco.
I mean, it's just such a loose description, isn't it? I mean, it is. It's a children's playground, isn't it, basically?
Yeah. Well, at the moment, it's been quite easy.
Yeah, the bags of balls, yeah.
And fibre dogs,
Oh, right.
Exactly go
Yeah.
from there.
It might take a while. It's all going to be handballed off, basically. I mean, I don't know whether they get a forklift in there and get some of the stuff, but... I mean, yeah, you see things like this now and again, but it's not the norm. I mean, I'm just guessing it's some sort of children's playground that's been out in Spain for the season and is being brought back. It is a good cover load, isn't it? I mean, it's very difficult to get over the top of and to see in amongst.
After hours of offloading, the team finds some suspiciously heavy wooden boxes.
As soon as I saw it,
Yeah.
that's not right.
No, they've made it look like the spongy steps, haven't they?
It's extremely suspicious, so the team decide to drill the boxes.
And I mean, you saw the load, how difficult it was to get in. They've managed to get themselves in there, identified these packages. They've drilled a hole, and inside there's some green plastic. I think if it's in that one, it's in that one, it's in that one, and it's in that one.
Stuart thinks the plastic packaging could indicate drugs.
I would think that there'll be a large quantity of cannabis in there, maybe up to a tonne.
The driver is arrested while they work out what they've found.
But it's a slow, methodical process now. The guy's arrested, there's no rush.
After another 2 hours of careful unpacking, the moment of truth has arrived.
He's just about to take the lid off. I think in the porn industry, this is the money shot, isn't it?
It's a massive haul of what looks like cannabis.
Can't smell anything. I'm guessing it's cannabis resin in there.
You can't smell it.
Still can't get anything off
All
it.
it
No.
smells the plastic.
All the boxes are full of bales of cannabis, which have apparently come from a special garden.
The maker's manufacturer mark. It's just their. It's come from that particular cannabis farm in Morocco, or wherever it is it's come from, and that they put their own stamp on it, and that's how it gets shipped out.
The officers now want to know just how much they've seized from the smugglers. It's the biggest haul of cannabis at Dover for years.
Sorry, I put 928 kilos. About.
And the specialist rummage team are delighted.
928 kilos is nearly a tonne, so that's excellent.
We've had a bit of a lean period actually, our team. We've gone 3 months maybe without anything. We've had a few little cigarette seizures might have been on the way, but this is what we call a proper job, really.
Simon, do you want to just come through here? Are you travelling on your own or are you with somebody? On your own? Just come through here, please. How long have you been out for?
3 days.
And what was the purpose of your trip?
Wedding in Paris. And
This passenger arrived from Paris, but began his trip in Thailand.
Why did you go to Thailand for? Why? Yeah. All right, okay. So how long are you in the UK for?
Till Sunday.
Till Sunday. So what do you do in Thailand?
I'm a cook.
Border officer Zoobs is yet to catch his first cocaine smuggler, and disappointingly, this passenger's story sounds plausible. But a strong hit for cocaine from the passenger's passport raises suspicions. Next, Zoobs swabs the man's toothbrush to work out if he might be a user.
Quite a strong hit, that.
Zoobs gives the man a chance to explain the hits.
Right, I've just actually done a quick swab of your passport and your toothbrush. It's giving me high traces of cocaine. Huh? It's giving me high traces of cocaine. Right. Okay. Have you actually come into contact with cocaine in Thailand?
No. In Thailand?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not a user.
But you're not a user.
No, I'm not.
So how do you explain cocaine traces from a toothbrush, which is personal just to yourself?
I don't know.
Right, okay.
With the man offering no explanation, Zoobs has to assume he's carrying drugs either in his bags or in his body.
Okay, I've actually had high hits of cocaine from the trainers, right? How do you explain all these stuff? Now, if you've actually used cocaine out there, I'm not interested.
In Thailand?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
You've used it out there now?
I said that to you.
No, you said you didn't.
I did. I said that to you once or twice.
Just once or twice in the past. And
Yeah.
when was the last time that you've actually...
2 months.
About 2 months ago. Right.
Yeah, it's not a problem. We need to know if you've used in the past, you know, few weeks.
Yeah, I understand that.
And you're saying you haven't. Right. You sure?
But under pressure, the man changes his story again.
Well, so when was the last time?
I used it in Paris.
In Paris?
In Paris, so it actually wasn't 2 months ago.
He's finally admitted using, but as he's already lied, the officers need to make sure he's not carrying any drugs.
What's on there?
There's a TV appearance from me.
Of you? They're just a selection of CDs, and he's got one DVD. He's a celebrity chef, apparently. It's something to do with... that's what he said he was, a celebrity chef, some sort of TV programme. That's the passenger.
Although some of the story checks out, Zoob still thinks the passenger may be a smuggler.
If we were to ask you for a search of a person, would you object to that?
I'm carrying 2 grams of cocaine. I have 2 grams of cocaine in my underwear.
Right, okay.
Zoob's persistence means he's just bagged his first ever cocaine seizure.
The time is 17:35. I'm arresting you on suspicion of being involved in the importation of controlled drug.
The man's admission is set to land him in a whole heap of trouble.
Let's take a seat on the back wall. That one.
And the seriousness of the crime is already starting to hit home.
Okay. Yeah.
Want to go to jail?
He could be sent down. Importation of a Class A, so it's not a petty offence.
The smuggler's plan began confidently.
You gonna be sick?
But now he doesn't have the stomach to deal with the consequences. The man is visibly distressed, but Zoobs needs to get his hands on the cocaine hidden in his underwear.
Are you okay, sir? Are you okay to continue? Can you bend down, please? Part your buttocks, please. Okay, sir. 2 small packages in plastic bags that were on his underwear. In the UK, 1 rat will
probably about £50–60 for what it's actually worth. I mean, he's put his neck on the line.
It's a small seizure, but with serious consequences.
You do actually feel sorry for individuals, I mean, for doing things like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, they've actually committed a crime.
In 2005, officers listening in on one smuggling plot picked up clues that another bigger importation was being hatched by 3 men.
It was carried out over a period of about 6 months. Some fairly intensive surveillance on a number of people, which included Simon Fisher, Thomas Little, Paul Phipps.
Undercover customs officers put the suspects under continuous surveillance. The officers began hearing hints of what sounded like a major drug smuggling plot.
Certain phrases were picked up by the officers while they were out on surveillance, and one of those was brave to do it, and the other was run. Run is a common term in smuggling parlance, one that we would expect to hear. Brave to do it really speaks for itself.
The officers were waiting for any hint of the next stage of the plot. The suspect's intentions became clearer when they were followed to a meeting with a pilot.
You saw the chap who turned out to be a pilot, Leith, make a gesture with his hand. It seemed very much like a plane flying in, coming down low, and then taken up again. And this started to give us an idea of what was being discussed. Part of the surveillance took place in Etchin Hill a little while later, and on the seat of William Leith's car there was a map of the surrounding area, and Simon Fisher, Paul Phipps and William Leith went out looking over the fields. What we believe now was a sighting to try and find a suitable venue to drop the drugs off from the plane.
But so far, all customs had was talk. They needed more concrete proof of what the gang were planning. The already intensive surveillance was about to step up a gear.
Surveillance was carried out by aeroplane from Bournemouth Airport, and in fact what we had was an officer in a plane shadowing the light aircraft that the smuggling gang had hired.
The plane drops down to what we think is about 100 foot off the ground, and then pulls up sharply and heads away again. And that was what we believe was a dummy run for their intended drugs drop.
When you're conducting these operations, there's always the right time to actually knock something, to actually take it further. And the team here made a decision that they actually had enough material.
But the officers in the UK were beaten to it when the pilot Leith was caught red-handed with the drugs before he'd even left the ground.
And he was actually arrested in Belgium with 63 kilos of cannabis in a light aircraft, which really confirmed our suspicions that they were intending to bring in drugs in a private aircraft.
The smugglers' plan had collapsed, and worse still, they were about to be arrested. Phipps and Little were taken out together, caught carrying a holdall and a box containing £400,000 in cash. Fisher tried to hide but was tracked using his mobile phone and arrested in a pub. They were all found guilty at trial. Little was given community service, but as the organisers, Fisher received 7 years and Phipps 5 years. It all came as a big surprise to the gang who were oblivious to the surveillance operation that snared them.
I was surprised that they were surprised. Certainly when we saw the defendants in court and they were watching the evidence that we'd collated, yeah, I would definitely say that they were surprised. I think testament to the quality of the surveillance officers that we have.
Hello, sir. You travelling on your own today?
Yes.
Can you just bring your bag this way for me, please? Where have you come in from?
Jamaica.
Yeah, can you just bring your bag this way, please? Do you have a passport and ticket? Are you aware it's illegal to import certain things into the UK, such as controlled drugs, indecent material, offensive weapons?
Yes.
Do you have anything like that with you?
No.
Do you have anything to smoke or drink?
No.
Right, OK, what's in your duty-free boxes there?
Rum.
OK, so that's the drink. So how much rum have you got?
I think it's 6 bottles.
6 bottles of rum. OK. Do you have a key for this, please?
He's way over his allowance for spirits, and Liz is suspicious about the man's denial. She decides to x-ray some of the goods in his baggage for any hidden drugs.
The gentleman's just got some fruit and some bottles. What I'm doing, I'm just x-raying it just to make sure that there's nothing concealed within the fruit or the bottles. Sometimes I've had little packages that are stuck behind the labels in the bottles. So I'm just checking there's nothing concealed there. They all look fine, so. He's got quite a lot of bottles of rum cream. I'm actually going to test one of the bottles just to make sure there's no cocaine in solution. What's just happened here is I've just been swabbing various things as I've been going through the baggage. I've just tested the swab and it's actually come up with a small trace of heroin. Okay, now that's quite unexpected really, because the sort of drugs you'd be expecting to find from Jamaica would be cocaine and cannabis. So it's only a small trace, and I'm just going to see if I can replicate the hit to see where it's come from, and then I might ask him about it.
Having found the trace, Liz is now on the lookout for any behavioural indicators the man may be smuggling.
Okay, had a good meal on the plane?
Yeah, the meal was terrible.
The meal was terrible? What was it?
What did I have? Some powdered eggs.
Some powdered eggs? Is that it? All right.
But it's not just the man's manners causing Liz concern.
Sounded like you just had a 3-course roast dinner. Yeah. One of the indications that someone might have an internal concealment of drugs is actually burping. And I don't know whether you caught that, but he just gave a very loud burp and he's not eating very much, so, you know, my suspicions are raised a little bit. He's also not got a lot of money. He's got £5 to get a taxi to somewhere, which he might get there for £5, but I'll just carry on, see what we get.
The last thing to check is the passenger's rum.
Can you pass me your duty-free boxes up, please? Cheers. Okay, this isn't rum, is it? This isn't rum, is it? What is it?
Yeah.
Okay, just wait there for 1 second.
Liz's intuition and patience has finally paid off as she finds a large package stuffed inside the duty-free rum cases.
Okay. Obviously what I was expecting to find in the duty-free boxes was rum. Okay. This clearly isn't rum, so obviously I suspect it to be drugs. What I'm going to do now, cut into there. Okay, and what we've got here is herbal cannabis by the look of it. I'm actually going to arrest the gentleman. I'm going to ask my colleague to test it, and I'm going to just take him into a private room and arrest him. Just want to take a seat there, please. Okay, I suspect this to be cannabis, okay? So the time is 08:33. I'm arresting you on suspicion of being knowingly concerned in the illegal importation of a controlled drug.
As the man begins to realise the consequences of his actions, Liz gets the results back from the tests on the substance.
All that red colour there, that's confirmation that it's cannabis. Obviously the indicators there that he's nervous and all the rest of it are still there. We now know why he's nervous, because he's got this, but I can't discount the possibility that he may be carrying drugs internally as well.
But the man is less than happy at the suggestion that he may have swallowed drugs.
I need to be sure that you don't have drugs on you, inside you. Are you okay with that?
No, because I have nothing in my stomach.
No, because you've got nothing in your stomach, right? If you refuse to have the compass, you will be monitored and we'll have to wait for nature to take its course, and you'll have to have 2 clear motions.
With the man's reluctance to have an X-ray, Liz is adamant they'll find out whether he swallowed drugs one way or the other.
Okay, we're going to take you upstairs now to our custody suite, okay? So if you'd like to follow us, you can push your trolley. Okay, you all right?
Yeah, if you push that one.
The man's frustration is understandable. Liz has intercepted a huge amount of cannabis.
It was actually quite a shock when I saw the tape packages. I wasn't expecting it. I just thought he'd actually got too much rum.
The packages contain more than 8 kilos of cannabis with a street value of more than £25,000.